And I'm in your bot lane. Hello. And Peanut, a very good opportunity to get a very clean dive off. They want to go for Hanwha as Cleanse and Flash come out. They exhaust, and the stun is not quite going to land. They have the damage finally, but it's First Blood that does go to Rel. As meanwhile, in the mid lane, Zeka trying to trade here against Closer, and one auto will do it. Zeka gets the win, picks up the solo kill in mid.
Wow, big miscalculation there from
Aurora. Meanwhile, Peanut's here.
Hanwha is so far behind in farm. He cannot die here. Zeka's roaming.
Yeah, this is a 4v2, and there's no cleanse, no flash for Hanwha. Delight goes in. It's just the easiest gank of all time. Delight is overcommitting to this. Just saying, okay, I'm not going to get out, but I don't really care because we're going to take the win anyway. Peanut very low, but it's a double kill to Zeka Zeri in the bottom lane.
It's certified, Valdez. Here we are. And yeah, he'll take a small CS
kind of farm and you're getting shot in the face. Generally not a good feeling. And this time, Peanut, you know, he was on the bottom side of the map. He wasn't diving, though, so it's just more pressure. And he's just going to pick up an early Ocean Drake, which is quite good as well, just to continue with, you know, the extra sustain for all of the lanes.
A lot of cryo. There's not going to be a whole lot of teleport flank wards for Clear to operate on in this game if this lead does continue. As they do now start up the Dragon. No contest here for BNK, which I think is wise. So they got an additional plate in mid during all of this as well. And now they're just going to say, we're getting Dragon.
Not going to have the raw damage to chop through that.
Yeah, those stats are always going to be relevant basically in every comp. Some comps better than others, but still, okay, they do have the cannon flank.
Well, they're going to catch Leona. And here comes the cannon flank. Viper in a really rough spot, but now he's just going to die. But the rest of his team is just going to kill everybody else. He's like, okay, I did my damage. And yes, I'm Jin. I can't quite get away, but who cares? We got the Rift Heralds, and we're going to win the fight. They're looking for more. They try to get Clear. Clear is going to actually hand a kill over to Closer, but now Closer in a bit of trouble. Zeka flashing in. He wants another one. He's not going to have it, but it's still a big
where the cannon is, they push that mid wave through. Clear has to clear it. No pun intended. And Hanwha Life are like, cool, your rat's away. We're taking down the Dragon. Raptor's rooted.
He's getting stunned up. I mean, he doesn't get to play the game. He's just 100-0'd right in front of everybody. And down he will go. Even the Aurora ult just for good measure. And Hanwha once again left alone. Nothing he can do. It's a third kill for Hanwha Esports. This is one of the cleanest games I've seen Hanwha play. And they are just being ruthless here in their victory. It will be a third Drake to them.
Yeah. Soul Point. Huge team fight win. And they didn't even need the team fight win.
The only matchup they had that was a little bit eyebrow-raising was the one where they lost to KT, but even Gen G lost to KT, as now they're going to go in, they're forced to, and Zeka is just tanking the MF ult. He doesn't care, and he will live for now, although the entire team is chasing him, and now he's going to sail the wall. He gets away, and the rest of his team makes his way over, and they're just going to absolutely demolish the rest of BNK. Clear is still chasing Zeka, still looking for the angle, but the fight's already over. And Zeka got away scot-free after tanking an entire MF.
Unfortunately, BNK just so limited in their options. I don't even blame Duro for the attempt, because if you see an opportunity to lock down a Zeri like that, you go for it. And that's maybe your one way back into the game. It's a huge
layers. He's just kind of in a great spot.
He's getting preserved, Valdez, for the late game that I don't know if we're really going to get to him. We're 25 minutes in. Maybe this.
And he was 3-0. So, you know, besides Peanut's carry from the jungle, besides Delight setting up a lot of plays, it was also Zeka all over the map and getting a solo kill as well. Doran's going to throw an ult down and, well, not hit anyone, but he zones them away from Mountain Soul. So that's still valuable.
Yeah. And just going to tank this turret because they don't care. Yeah. And Baron buff just going to allow them to stack this wave here in mid. They're looking for the first inhibitor turret. Peanut has a wave coming bottom as well.
You see that the Jin with Mountain Soul and plated steel caps is 116 armor.
Okay,
the Jin.
Yeah, that's kind of a problem. I was going to mention the plated steel caps earlier. So maybe a premonition. He was like, oh, yeah, all this armor. If the Kennen can't TP flank, maybe he can take the long way around. He's pulling a pull bay.
Yeah,
but he's
still flanking to this day. Pull bay, that is. And I guess Clear in this game, who has come back, he has stopped flanking. And Zeka's just going to ult them and say, well, you can't really get away, so I'm just going to shoot you. And yeah, I mean, there's not really much else to say, guys. This game has been kind of a done deal for a while, and it looks like Hanwha Esports are finally putting an end to it after they get the Baron, as Yeah, well, Duro, he was there, I swear. I think he was. As finally Clear gets in, Peanut will actually die to the last turret shot, as the BNK stance is actually not half bad, but now they're going to get ulted by Doran, and everybody's just getting shot down by the Jhin, as Viper will clean it up, and that will be an extremely clean first game victory.
And they're like, we're pulling the trigger down here. Viper and Delight are way too far up, but the Poppy is just so tanky. Viper gets a bunch of stacks off of the exchange as well, and Closer's in trouble.
Oh man, the big one gonna come in. The flash auto from Zeka is clean, and he picks up not a solo kill.
It was the Zeri that was a little bit ahead of where she should have been. This time, Smolder doesn't have any kills, but he's feeling good about the game state.
Oh, that's a nice knock back on a Zeka, but there's just no follow-up. So, knockup from Daisy, and now Duro. He's not level 6. He's actually pretty squishy, and he doesn't have his flash. He's just free food for the side of Hanwha Esports, and they will take that happily.
Yeah. Fishing trip gone wrong by Hanwha moments ago. They still are never able to grab control of this dragon. Viper is getting plate gold in the bottom lane, and he is just stacking. He is just vibing. He has 86 stacks here at 11 minutes. Pretty good pace. It's just a big Smolder problem that I don't know if it's going to be solved soon.
Knock away from the Alistair. Now Hanwha is alone, and a bunch of damage is going to be put into him. He is going to eventually go down. He does use his barrier, but doesn't even bother to flash. As, again, it's just another kill onto the Poppy this time around. And saw what happened down in the bottom lane. Just more wins for Viper, who's just getting free farm and is 30 CS ahead of his opponent. Duro, though, is in the top lane, going to flash in and, well, just kind of run around a little bit. As now Delight's in a lot of trouble, or rather, Delight is totally fine. As the ult comes in, and finally, the Closer will be able to take him down, but it's 2 kills to the side of Peanut. Make it 3, a triple kill for Ivern underneath the top turret. Meanwhile, Viper's just solo farm.
Yeah, he's just chilling. He doesn't care. He just wants stacks. He's like, look, a kill's not going to get... I'm not Vagar. I don't need kills. I need to kill the minions. If a champion could come down here, maybe I could get more value with my choose, but otherwise just pressing Q and last hitting and taking plate gold to be more relevant later. As Zeka is also trying to grab an additional plate here. Won't be able to, even with the cannon minion, as they do see the rotation. So we saw the Kais a lot. We were like, well, is this going to be the one that punishes? And the answer was no.
Like you said, you know, either you match the scaling or you put on more pressure, and they kind of did neither, right? Like, they're not going to scale as well with Kai'Sa, they're not going to put on pressure with this, and it just kind of sits there and doesn't do as well. Meanwhile, Zeka is barely going to live. He doesn't really lose much except some melee minions. He doesn't need to be the carry. Like, he just needs to not die and just be present in the team fights.
He just is able to be down here and say, oh, if no one, you know, eventually Clear will have to kill those minions. I'll lose some, but like my whole team is on Dragon. If anyone comes down here, we just collapse on them, and you know, I'm just chilling.
Yeah, it's the Ivern power spike.
Yes,
it's Redemption and Moonstone. And
you can go for the
skill people for like 500.
You should get the Dawn Core this game, I feel like, with how this is going.
Yeah, I'm going to get a sleep here on the Delight, but remember that this is, yeah, he's got an Ivern nearby. The heal does come in, and Delight is finally maybe going to go down, but only after the trade onto Closer, and Hanwha's just alone in a 1v2 against, well, actually a 1v3 as Daisy is also helping out. Doran finally gets his time to shine, and this is just going to be a clean ace to the side of Hanwha Esports, as easy as you'd like, unless Clear somehow, very nice dogs there actually, might be able to get away, and that he will. And yeah, even Daisy's getting in on the action. Will she die? Clear desperate, and will finally take her down.
Viper is just putting brushes up, and let's see. Give it your best shot, BNK.
How are you going to engage onto this?
You can't.
I mean, they need to get somebody in those brushes. They need to get some amount of vision, and they just don't have any. As the Baron is getting pretty low, they are thinking about a turn. Look at the damage that Viper's doing on the right side. Everybody on the side of BNK has to back away, and they just had the Baron leash the entire time. They take it down before 21.
And then they'd be even further ahead, but he's going to use the gold to get that 2-item spike. And they're going to take out this inner. Clear's in trouble.
Yeah, Clear's been doing a good job of not dying, but he's just going to collapse. All of that stress is Peanut just tanked 3 turret shots without realizing. Maybe just for fun, you know, just Peanut.
Keep those minions alive, you know?
Yeah. I mean, there's some validity to that, actually. You know, get in, tank it up, keep that wave alive. And they didn't quite do it this time, though, so kind of funny. Still going to hit the turret, and they still have enough damage. And Viper still hasn't died, so he's holding on to that Smolder perfect KDA in the LCK. And that's just a ridiculous number. Not a very high kill participation in this game. We just saw Shojins all the time, and you and I are just the biggest Shojins haters. Yes. Like, I don't know why, but it always just ends up that way. I don't know. Just feels like BNK kind of got countered. Like, they try to face into Hanwha Life Esports, and Hanwha Life are just a better version of BNK, I feel like, in many different ways.
Yeah, for sure. Doran going in.
Uh-oh. All right, clear. It's going to be okay, and Doran is extremely tanky, and he's got shields as well. As Mom going to help out a little bit with that. Actually, a lot of it, as in goes Viper, and he's looking for a bit more. He's got a gigantic shields with the barrier and the Ivern, and you're just not even going to chip away at his health bar at this point.
I mean, they could just basically end. I mean, they have this wave here, Cannon Minion working on these Nexus turrets door and just keeping everyone at bay.
Yeah, they don't want to end because they want to have some fun and maybe get a Penta for Viper. It's not going to happen as the first kill goes to Zeka. Probably the rest of them will go to Viper, though. No, a double kill for Zeka, actually, as he really wants to deny the Smolder from getting any more kills in this one. It is a battle between mid and AD carry to see who is the best of the AD carries. And this time around, I guess it's Zeka, but it doesn't really matter. The game is over. 24 minutes and